From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie. This local and regional news update is brought to you by Northway Bank. Like Northway Bank on Facebook, and they'll donate $1 up to the first 1,000 to the New Hampshire Food Bank. Visit facebook.com/Northway Bank today. Northway Bank with 17 locations throughout New Hampshire. The people you know, the bank you trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Here's the news. The chief of Effingham Fire and Rescue says a man in his 30s was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries yesterday morning after the SUV he was driving crashed on Province Lake Road. Randy Burbank says his department and Ossipee Valley EMS were called to the area of 1640 Province Lake Road around 7:15.
The gentleman was on his way to work. Deer cut out in front of him. He swerved to avoid him. In the swerving process, he hit a concrete bridge abutment, rode the bridge abutment for a while. When he came down, caught his front end and rolled over down into a swamp. When we arrived on the scene, we walked down. The gentleman was still in the vehicle. We opened the door with his assist because it was locked. We did get the door open, and he did manage to walk out on his own power.
The driver, who was northbound at the time of the crash, complained of lower back pain and was taken to Huggins Hospital in Wolfboro. Burbank says the road was clear and dry at the time. Where the SUV landed in the swamp was actually in Maine, so firefighters from Keyser Falls and the Oxford County Sheriff's Department also responded. Firefighters were on the scene for about an hour. The U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development is sending nearly $170,000 in housing grants to 4 organizations in New Hampshire. The New Hampshire Housing Finance Authority is getting $104,000, while Affordable Housing, Education and Development, or AHEAD of Littleton, will get about $22,000. Matthew Manning directs the Home Ownership Center at AHEAD.
We use that money to help offset the cost to offer asset building education to customers in Grafton and Coast and Carroll counties. Oftentimes the money is used for home buyer education, one-on-one credit counseling, and financial literacy courses that we put on in the group setting. We do offer one-on-one foreclosure prevention and intervention counseling. We do that statewide via telephone counseling.
Manning encourages New Hampshire residents to call his agency even if they're experiencing financial distress to learn what options are available to them.
There's counseling available that's going to allow people to see that there are options available. Oftentimes when someone's facing a financial crisis, they freeze. They don't know where to turn. So if they give our organization AHEAD a call, we're able to go through their information with them, analyze the situation that they're in financially, and then put a plan of action together to move forward so that they take control of the situation and review all options. Obviously, what we'd like to do is keep people in their homes. That's our main goal. Sometimes that's not what we can do. It may not be a curable situation, so what we try to do is create the softest landing possible and allow people to move on in their own terms.
The number for AHEAD is 603-444-1377. In Maine news, State Senator Margaret Craven of Lewiston is set to hold a rally on the steps of the U.S. Supreme Court this morning to talk about the Affordable Care Act. She supports the law and says it puts the country on a path to, quote, ending gender discrimination against women. Meanwhile, Maine Attorney General Bill Schneider is also in Washington this week. He opposes the law, saying parts of it are unconstitutional. In sports, Paul Pierce scored a season-high 36, and the Boston Celtics held on to beat the Charlotte Bobcats 102-95 last night to move into a first-place tie with the 76ers in the Atlantic Division. And the Boston Red Sox beat the Philadelphia Phillies 6-0 yesterday. In the weather today, a red flag warning in effect until 7 o'clock this evening for all of New Hampshire and the coastal plain of central and southwest Maine. A red flag warning means critical fire weather conditions are either occurring or will shortly. A combination of strong winds and low relative humidity will create dangerous fire growth potential. Otherwise, mostly sunny today, highs in the upper 30s. Gusty winds up to 40 miles per hour out of the northwest. Becoming mostly cloudy tonight, lows around 17. Gusty winds out of the northwest up to 25 miles per hour in the evening, becoming light. And cloudy on Wednesday, a chance of rain in the afternoon, highs in the lower 40s. From the Northway Bank Online Newsroom, I'm Gare McKenzie.